Hello everybody, Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the WCW Saturday Night Series for 1989, specifically September 30th of 89. We kind of move forward into a very basic deal here, featuring Jim Ross conducting an interview with the NWA US Champion Lex Luger regarding an open challenge he made previous week to face any other wrestlers, during which Luger told the other wrestlers that he's more sorted and a better athlete, and that he won the U.S. title, and also includes a report from Gordon Soley after attending a press conference held by the NWA World Champion Ric Flair, with Sting stating that Flair had put the NWA belt and a fine of $100,000 on Terry Funk for the chokeout with the plastic bag, and he is suspended indefinitely. Also, regarding his actions, trying to get Funk back into the ring, it's later stated that on October 8th match would be the first ever I Quit match for the NWA World Title. After Bruno Sammartino was going to officiate at Halloween Havoc Thunderdome main event with Funk and Muta versus Flair and Sting. Also conducting things going forward, conducting an interview with Jim Cornette, Bobby Eaton, and Stan Lane, in which Cornette said the NWA Tag Team Champions Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin were afraid of facing Eaton and Lane at Halloween Havoc, but he does get the opportunity for the Dynamic Dudes. Then we go to what is a very short show, in all honesty. Flair defeating Gene Liggin with a figure four leg lock at 324 during the match. So Flair would face Dick Slater this following night on the main event. Flair obviously a babyface here. Flair obviously trying to keep the babyface thing up. And Flair as a babyface here in this era doesn't really fit after things, but the Funk promo or the Funk program does work, and they tried to keep Ric Flair going in a good way there. Anyway, Flair with a side headlock takeover, keeping things on the mat as much as he can. Gene Liggin, a good enhancement talent for the time period, and we ultimately get Flair getting the figure four leg lock on and hooking it in, keeping the match going just under 3.5 minutes. Flair as the world champion, a major run there. Lex Luger basically out in a collared suit, as mentioned before, or collared shirt at least, talking about having to be smarter and wiser and a better athlete than all of his competition, and obviously there are things there. Tom Parker up next. Parker is ultimately an enhancement challenge here for none other than, let's see, Tom Parker facing off against the Road Warriors, as it were. Road Warriors and Skyscrapers going to go at it at Halloween Havoc, and they're kind of putting that forward here. And as mentioned, very basic deal there. Parker facing off against one half, and that is, of course, Animal. Animal singles match is not that common, but again, hard shots and getting a back elbow, clothesline, couple other things, and the leaping power or the modified power slam. Animal, of course, getting ready for the Skyscrapers. Skyscrapers had caused trouble for Hawk earlier, and again, Animal is promising that Skyscrapers will pay at Halloween Havoc. Then we go to another in the series of squash matches. Dan Spivey and Steve Vicious. The aforementioned Skyscrapers are out, and and then we see Spivey and Vicious getting in the ring. They are, again, the Skyscrapers. We see the beginning of their association with manager Teddy Long. Skyscrapers probably could have been a bigger deal had there not been an issue for things, but Spivey then manages to be dominant in the match. Attempted kind of roll up, actually. This is for some reason I had a squash match, but I think it's from the following week. Dick Murdoch out there with him. Murdoch not here that long in 1989. Murdoch hangs onto the arm and ultimately manages to keep Spivey down for a little bit. Obviously, putting him in there with Murdoch is to kind of create some challenges, and then we see a power bomb on Murdoch and the outrunning of the Road Warriors. And again, the Road Warriors are going to lay things out. Flying Brian Pillman basically says he wants to challenge for the U.S. title that Lex Luger had offered earlier before. Pillman, relatively new to the area, but a huge babyface, former tag team or former Cincinnati Bengal football player. And then we see, speaking of tag teams, the Dynamic Dudes out next. Dynamic Dudes facing off with a couple of enhancement talents, sending them together. Tommy Angel, one of the enhancement talents, big double drop kick, almost like a Rock and Roll Express. Maybe I wonder if they might not have been kind of a launch there. Double slingshot suplex for them. Woman basically saying that she has a plan for all of professional wrestling. She is going to basically seduce all of wrestling in her general direction. The issues between the Midnight Express and the wonder that is Jim Cornette seems to be an issue here. Midnight Express up next in an enhancement match. Brian Pillman up next in an enhancement match with, I believe, known as the Shadow, or let me just take a look here. Guy in all green bodysuit, Brian Pillman at the time, super useful. Cruel Connection #1. Air Pillman beats him 257. Jim Cornette says that Ryder gets beaten, obviously, by the Dynamic Dudes, and then Ross continues to ask, is there a problem between the Dynamic Dudes and the Midnight Express? Jim Cornette continues to say there is not. Then we go, as mentioned, Brian Pillman gets the top rope drop kicks, among other things, rolling up his adversaries in the easiest and quickest way possible. Rick and Scott Steiner with Missy Hyatt defeats Joe Cruz and Bob Cook 319. Rick pins Cruz after belly-to-belly suplex during the match. It's announced Steiner's would face the tag team champions Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin. At the October 8th Omni show, it's also announced that Gordon Solie would interview Flair and Gary Hart following night on the main event. The Steiners, again, basically lots of suplexes. Not quite ready for the Frankensteiner yet, although that's coming in the next few weeks. The Steiners getting ready, though, for their first tag team title run. The Missy Hyatt thing doesn't really make sense, except that Robin Green, a.k.a. Woman, had betrayed Rick Steiner, and maybe they were going somewhere with that. We'll be back with more right after this.